Welcome to Agents of Nothing, an episode-by-episode recap and analysis from the perspectives of a veteran and a new recruit. And now, a quick word from our sponsors. Dang record. Good morning, Agents of Nothing, and welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast. We are your commanding officers. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 6, A Fractured House.
Yeah. So, Mariah, how was your week?
It's been really good, actually. Last week, I started my new job, which I can now say without fear of it falling out from under me, is at my local library. Yay! This is a real personal accomplishment for me. It's something I've wanted for so long. Such a long time. And it's just as much of a dream so far as I'd hoped it'd be.
I'm so glad. I know you've always wanted to work at that library. I'm so happy for you.
I have applied like 10 times. So how was your week, Caroline?
Well, it's been okay. But by the time this episode comes out, my new song will be out, and I'm very excited for it. It's called Love Note to Jimmy Lou, and my artist name is Rusty Page. We'll have a link to it when this episode comes out, and we'll make sure that's with the tweet, you know. But yeah, it's been a really long time coming. I wrote this song in April of 2021 when my grandmother passed away, and I finally recorded it at the end of last year, so like almost a year ago. It was finally done, and then we started making the music video in July, and I'm finally finishing up the music video. So I'm so excited for it to finally be out in the world for everybody to hear. So big things are happening.
Big things are truly happening. I can vouch for this song, you guys. It makes me cry every fucking time I hear it.
As a fun fact, towards the end of the song, there is a clip of my grandma's laugh in there that I had to put in there for my family, you know.
We're doing Taylor Swift.
Yep. Exactly.
We're taking a page out of Marjorie's book. Speaking of Taylor Swift, if you would like to hear our Midnights by Taylor Swift hot takes, you should subscribe to our Anchor for $3 a month, and on our Zoom call recording, that's one of the first things we get into on our Anchor exclusive is our Midnight's hot takes.
Yeah.
For this episode, obviously. Yes, of course.
Super hot takes. It was burning.
Super hot takes. No one is talking about it like we are.
Absolutely nobody.
We are not afraid to say the real truth.
Okay, let's get into it.
So, this episode was written by Rafe Judkins and Lauren LaFranc and directed by Ron Underwood. The title of the episode, A Fractured House, appears designed to evoke the biblical house divided against itself image, reflecting the condition of S.H.I.E.L.D. post the Hydra betrayal and the inability of the Ward family to get on the same page. So who do we meet?
So we meet a couple of new people. First of all, Beckers. I love that was the name that they chose. And I thought that it was interesting because I am pretty sure I once had a hat with a bunch of toy chickens on it that I named Beckers. So that was very nostalgic for me.
Very nostalgic for you.
Yeah. And then we also meet Toshira. He's fine, I guess. He's completely unmemorable and possibly stupid, considering a few different factors. At least unobservant, for sure. And then we meet Christian Ward, and he is forever Maynard to me.
Same Z's.
So, let's get into this episode.
Okay, I'm ready.
We open on Talbot leading a UN conference, and he's talking about where he was during the Shatari attack, and he uses it to convince everyone that S.H.I.E.L.D. sucks. Fuck S.H.I.E.L.D. And as the Italian representative starts to ask for some proof that they suck, He's suddenly hit in the chest with a device that, like, instantly disintegrates him, which was something.
Yikes.
Um,
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was so much.
Right. So then the doors burst open and a bunch of armed agents march in, just disintegrating everyone.
Left and right.
The victims are all screaming that it's S.H.I.E.L.D. And as Talbot helps several people out of the room, one of the agents says, "S.H.I.E.L.D. is done hiding," before throwing another device at us. What did I do? What did I do to you? So then after the super fucking cool logo,
yes,
I loved that.
Get used to those.
Oh yeah, they change them all the time?
They change them pretty often, but it's cool.
It is cool. It was nice. A nice touch. Anyway, so after the logo, we get an uncomfortably close-up shot of Ward. Gross. Then Skye and Simmons watch his morning workout from the security camera in his cell. And without any light or clock whatsoever, somehow Ward still wakes up every day at 5:50 a.m. on the dot to work out. Which was weird. And, like, I don't know. I had a lot of thoughts about it, but none of them were coherent.
Yeah, I feel like it's psycho behavior. That's...
Yeah.
It's Norman Bates behavior.
Yeah, for sure. So Skimmins bond over having each other back and being wary of Ward. Solid. Until May rushes in, saying that there was an attack on the UN. So everybody jumps into action. Skye and Trip, who is looking extra sweaty today. I feel like he probably did his morning workout too. They go get the latest from Coulson, who guesses that Hydra was impersonating S.H.I.E.L.D. for revenge. He also pulls out a Grumpy Cat mug. Like, God, this was really 2014, wasn't it?
Grumpy Cat. R.I.P. King.
True. I keep saying truly and, like, true, and I don't know why. It just...
True.
Like it. I don't want to
So true, bestie. So true.
Okay, so Simmons sees the footage of the attack, and she and Bobby remember a weapon that Hydra was working on, and it was worked on by Toshiro Mori in Okinawa.
Also, Bobby says that this particular assassin also attempted to kill Barton? Clint Barton? As in Hawkeye? Which is interesting, because Mockingbird and Hawkeye were in a relationship at one point in the comics, I'm pretty sure. And so, like, I remember back when this aired being like, are they hinting at it? But then, spoiler alert, Hawkeye is married, and they retconned his wife to be, or at least a past version of Mockingbird, because she seems to be retired. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're doing some weird things in regards to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the MCU. Yeah. And I'm not sure I like it. Anyways, Bobby is also wearing a Star Wars t-shirt while informing her colleagues about the attack. And both Marvel and Star Wars are Disney properties.
Oh, cute.
So I feel like they didn't have to ask anyone's permission to have that logo in there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, me, can I have this logo in there? Sure, me.
Absolutely. You're doing such a great job, me.
Thanks, me.
Anyway, so Coulson sends Bobby to Japan to find out more about it. But not before she meets up with May and, Hunter. Then Hunter pops his head in after she leaves to ask if he really has to go on a mission with Bobby. And no, he's got no problem with that. Well, I mean, unless she has a problem with it. Does she have a problem with it? Can we all grow up, please?
Hunter is such a child.
Absolutely.
I really hope that my microphone did not just pick up my tummy making a weird noise. My tummy made a weird noise.
Just pretend like it was a car
sorry.
going by.
Yeah, it was a car, you guys. It was so much a car.
So Talbot is in trouble with his boss because Talbot was supposed to have S.H.I.E.L.D. under control. And he doesn't care that this group was most likely not even S.H.I.E.L.D. either, but he's going to take over those duties from Talbot instead. Yikes. Talbot brings up that he knows something about the senator's brother, but he's not going to say anything to anyone. But the senator is determined to kill S.H.I.E.L.D. But oh fuck. It's Senator Christian Maynard Ward.
Dun, dun, dun.
And of fucking course he's a Republican.
The fact that I literally noted the same exact thing. Wording and everything. Literally, I said, it's Senator Christian Maynard Ward. And then, of course he's a Republican.
We're on the same wavelength. I love it.
That's what I said to Aaron.
Stop. Quit it. Don't do it. I love us. Aww.
Oh, we're great.
So Skye and Coulson are watching Senator Ward spewing his shit on the news, saying that he wants to have a multinational police force to take down anyone even suspected of having ties to S.H.I.E.L.D., using any and all means necessary. And that's fucking rich coming from him. Everybody who's even suspected of having ties to S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay.
Ties. That's word choice.
Right.
So Senator Ward unveils his anti-S.H.I.E.L.D. plan on WHIH News, the network that covered the 2011 Stark Expo in Iron Man 2 and the battle at Culver University in The Incredible Hulk. This fictional news network later became a web series serving to promote the latest entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. WHIH Newsfront.
Cool. Oh my gosh.
It is cool.
So then Skye goes to talk to Ward to get intel on his brother, of course. And Coulson says, keep the focus on his family, not yours. And I don't really feel like she needed the reminder of that, but okay. Bobby finally breaks the tense silence between her and Hunter and says that he looks good. He halfway returns the compliment, saying that he likes her new blonde hair. And she says, oh, thanks. I heard you've been telling everyone I'm a hell beast. Fucking get him, Bobby.
My note when he denied it was, in all caps, little fucking bitch, Hunter, I hate you. Like, you can talk a big game behind her back, but when your hot assassin ex-wife confronts you about it head on, you're like, I don't recall.
Oh my god, little coward. So he thanks her for vouching for him with S.H.I.E.L.D. and says he doesn't know how long he'll stay since he likes to keep his options open. And Bobby says, you always do. Oh! So he cheated on her and he has the audacity to call her a hell beast? What the fuck?
What did I say? I never trust a man who talks shit about his exes.
Exactly. So then Bobby cuts off the conversation and goes to talk to May instead. I would too. And May was married? Just threw that in there. With and she didn't even say anything. She just it was the tiniest of nods. So Bobby asks if May still talks to her ex, and May just gives her the look. So then Bobby's like, yep, that's smart.
We learned that May was married last season, and you had the same reaction. Yeah. It's okay. It was also a very short thing last season.
When?
When they were doing the ultimate lie detector test.
Oh. Y'all have such a terrible memory.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel like, it worked. They're trying to remind you of that fact, so.
Okay. All right. Simmons goes to check on Fitz, who seems to be talking to himself again. Simmons asks for his help getting into her damaged hard drive, and their dynamic has changed some, and their banter doesn't come as easily anymore, and it makes me so sad.
Yeah. Fitz said, "You look different." Yeah, Fitz. She looks amazing.
Truly. Incredible.
I can understand him for being tense and flustered around her.
Yes. So Skye is with Ward, and she starts asking him about his brother. And I really wish they would have kept the name Maynard.
Same.
Ward doesn't answer the question, obviously, and just says to stay away from Christian because, quote, he's not what he seems. He always has an angle. That sounds familiar, Grant. Ward is clearly terrified of his brother, demanding to know if Christian knows where Grant is over and over.
The relationship between Grant and Christian Ward on the show is similar to the relationship of Simon and Eric Williams in the comics. Simon inherits the family corporation and is loved by everyone around him, just like Christian Ward, and Eric becomes the evil brother who then gains the supervillain name Grim Reaper.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Does Ward get a supervillain name?
I can't tell you that.
Because he's not important enough. He doesn't deserve one.
He truly doesn't. But I will not say yes or no.
Okay, thanks. So when Skye doesn't answer him, Ward changes the subject and finds out that Skye found her father. Then Coulson cuts him off and reprimands Skye for letting the conversation veer off mission.
Yo, Coulson, you did so well last episode. What the fuck?
I know.
I mean, I get it, but be nice.
Right.
Be nice
she was
to
trying.
her. She's just a little girl.
She's just a baby.
She's just a baby. She's a baby agent. You put a lot on her already.
Yeah. So over in Okinawa, May, Hunter, and Bobby decide that the best course of action is for Bobby to go in under her Hydra cover and try to get Toshira bragging.
Hunter's "don't die out there" and her little smirk. Bobby, do not reward this man for the bare minimum.
It's not even the bare minimum.
Do not take that as an endearing thing. I swear to God.
That's what you tell anybody. Literally anybody. Anyway, so it works. The plan works. Bobby is apparently fluent in Japanese, and so she and Toshira immediately start making out.
Wait, I love the way you worded that. That insinuated that because Bobby is fluent in Japanese, this Japanese man immediately starts making out with her.
I mean, wouldn't you? If you met somebody like Bobby, who was fluent in Japanese, wouldn't you immediately start making out with them?
Yes.
So Hunter pretends not to be jealous, and May is loving this. As Hunter tries to explain why Bobby being very good at her job is actually a bad thing for him, May cuts him off and says, "You know I don't like you, right?"
May speaking my mind. This was the only point in the episode where I actually paused because I was cackling so hard. Erin asked me what was wrong.
It was good. It was a good line. I love May. So Bobby carefully navigates Toshira's doubts and finds out that Whitehall actually gave Toshira the weapon, and Toshira has hopes of working on the Diviner as well. Then Hunter intercepts a message that was meant for Toshira and his men, exposing Bobby's cover, and he ran off the plane. That July night, the beat of your heart. Sorry. So Hunter and May arrive just in time to shoot the man aiming for Bobby, and Bobby disarms and pins down Toshiro using only a napkin from the table. Holy shit, she's a badass. And I don't think I said this, but, like, the fact that she was mad that Hunter came in and, like, saved her, she was like, you think I didn't know that guy was behind me? I believe her, because she just took this man down with only a napkin.
I don't know. I wish that later in the episode she hadn't conceded and been like, oh, you saved my life 3 times today. No. Do not reward this man. Nope. Do not reward this piece of white bread, Bobby.
Just because you put a clove of garlic on a piece of Wonder Bread doesn't make it garlic bread.
Exactly.
So May cuts off Bobby and Hunter's bickering, and they head off to Belgium to intercept the shipment of splinter bombs heading to Beckers, the Belgian foreign affairs minister, and the only world leader who doesn't want to immediately kill everyone who is even suspected of being involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. Or so we thought.
Dun dun dun.
So Simmons tries to read Fitz's mind again like they used to, but it's not helping, unfortunately.
Oof. This Fitz storyline hit way too close to home. It has been hitting too close to home, but this especially, where she says, I'm trying to not treat you any differently. And him saying, but I am different now.
I know.
I don't want to be, but I am. I was in tears.
I know, me too.
I went from cackling at the last scene to, like, crying at this one.
Literally. They really do just, like...
It was a long enough pause.
Yeah. So Fitz finally says all the things that have been hurting him since she left. How he needed her help then, but she left him, and she lied about where she was going, and it all made him feel absolutely useless. Simmons starts to tell him the real reason why she left, but she changes her mind and leaves the room. I hate it when they fight, but that was not the best move on her part.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she got emotional. Honestly, I think that was the best thing to do, to not say something that would hurt him, maybe.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, he's saying, you left me. In so many ways, you left me, and then she leaves the conversation again, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. All around, it's not a great situation.
Yeah,
but,
no, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. But Fitz is going to be okay, because then Mac comes in, and they give each other a meaningful look. So. But I love Mac, and I love their friendship. I'm so glad that he has him.
Bromance.
So Senator Ward enters his office and is surprised to find Coulson inside. Coulson made some tweaks to the senator's upcoming speech and made it funnier. No surprise. Coulson's hilarious. Coulson threatens to tell everyone that the senator's brother was Hydra, right when the public thinks they might have a simple enemy in S.H.I.E.L.D. Coulson lets him know that Grant is being held in the S.H.I.E.L.D. basement. He also tells Christian that Grant told Coulson everything, so he knows about the well. And Christian says, so it's a well now. Then Christian goes to put all the blame on Grant, obviously. They're truly just like two sides of the same coin.
But the thing is, I can't remember how this plays out, but honestly, I'm inclined to believe Christian. Even if he is a Republican.
Honestly, I feel like they just, like, teamed up to torture their little brother, and they're both terrible, and poor Thomas is just, like, trying to forget everybody.
Yeah.
So, Skye has taken this opportunity to talk to Ward again, unmonitored. Ward begs her not to believe anything Christian says, because as bad as Grant is, Christian is worse. Okay. So Christian and Coulson both agree that they have spent too much of their lives trying to unravel Grant Ward's lies. Valid.
Yeah.
Christian says that Grant will always find someone to believe him, which is then proved true, because then we cut to Skye saying, "I believe you." Some people will say that it's too on the nose, but I think it's just on the nose enough. She asks for Ward to tell her all about her father. Ward tells her everything that her father did was because he loved Skye. That the people he killed in the Hunan province weren't civilians, but Hydra agents trying to find Skye and her mother, whom they killed. That Zabo killed everyone there because he is something other than human. Ward tells her everything that he knows, and then says that he can help her find out more. So Skye thanks him for the extent of his knowledge, and then informs him that he will be transferred into Christian's custody now that he is no longer useful, in exchange for the senator repealing his anti-shield proposal. Psych, bitch!
I love it.
I love when they outsmart him, because it's so easy.
I truly wish that this episode hadn't ended the way that it did. For obvious reasons, but mostly because this was almost the perfect, like, let's shit on Ward episode.
Yes! I loved it until then.
Yeah. I was dreading it the whole time.
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is when it happens. Okay.
God damn it. So Simmons returns to the lab with 2 mugs and finds Fitz and Mac broing out.
I noticed that Fitz has Dalek specs on one of his iPads.
Oh, like from Doctor Who?
Yes.
Cool.
Is that one of the things that you absorbed through osmosis on
from
Tumblr?
Your Tumblr. It's from your Tumblr reblogs.
Did you see that Doctor Who is coming to Disney Plus? I might actually start watching it again.
All of it?
I'm not sure, but I know at least like the new season, I think is going to be airing on Disney Plus.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And David Tennant is coming back for a few episodes, so it's really...
What? Oh my god.
I'm winning. I'm winning, you guys. I got my dream job, and I got David Tennant back as the Doctor for, like, a few days. Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is the breeze in my hair on the weekend.
Karma's a relaxing thought.
Are you advanced the way as not?
Anyway, okay. So Fitz stiffens when he notices Simmons, and his attention is immediately on her. Obviously, she's gorgeous. Mac tells her that they were able to figure out that the splinter bombs were actually 1940s technology developed by a man named Vincent Beckers.
Dun dun dun!
Ward is begging for Coulson not to hand him over to his brother. He tries to say that he's been a useful member of Coulson's team, and Coulson says, "First of all, you will never see Skye again, ever. And second of all, you are not, nor will you ever be, part of my team. You dropped Fitzsimmons out of a plane. You murdered Victoria Hand and Eric Koenig. You betrayed every one of us, you deluded son of a bitch." Fucking tell him, Coulson. I loved that scene.
I love Coulson dressing Ward down. Like, he really is so delusional.
Yes.
It's too much. So, Brett Dalton, in response to being asked about Ward basically being sacrificed so S.H.I.E.L.D. could be saved, deserved, said, "I think he knows how this game works. He breaks down Senator Ward's whole plan, that Coulson makes this deal that wraps up right around midterms. It's the perfect political narrative to put S.H.I.E.L.D. back in the good graces of the public and to make Senator Ward the knight in shining armor. He pieces it all together. At the time when Ward breaks free, there's also some other big events that happen. So around this time, the events of Age of Ultron happened, Sokovia being lifted up and then dropped from the sky. So as crazy as Ward escaping is, there's also the world at large getting even crazier. So that means that while he is a threat, there are other things that need their attention. In a way, it makes it a more dangerous situation, but it also makes it one of several pots that are on the fire now. He's a wild card out there.
As much as I hate Grant Ward, I love Brett Dalton.
Brett Dalton is he's so good at his job.
Yes.
Brett Dalton, you're so good at your job. Come on the pod.
Come on the pod! So Trip interrupts before Coulson can punch him in the face, unfortunately. And Simmons informs Coulson about the Becker situation. The creator of the 1940s splinter bombs was the grandfather of the Belgian minister, and they believe that the Hydra connection stayed alive through the generations. Coulson realizes that this was a trap, and he calls for May to switch course to the Belgian Shield safe house. At that safe house, however, the other agent, shown earlier, arrives and sees Minister Beckers unexpectedly inside. Coulson realizes that all of their agents believed Belgium was a safe haven, effectively turning them into fish in a barrel. Beckers leaves the Shield agent to the Hydra agents to kill her. And then Hunter bursts through... Well, they do kill her.
Yeah.
Like I said that as though he was going to save her. He did not. It already happened. She's disintegrated.
Yeah.
But then later, Hunter bursts through the door and confuses all of the Hydra agents just long enough for the SHIELD team to get in position and crash through the windows.
So, I'm going to mispronounce these words, even though I watched this episode last night, so bear with me. In the safe house in Bruges, Hunter offers a Strafhendrik, a local brew he found in the area. Strafhendrik is indeed one of the many brews Bruges has to offer and has been exported to different countries for years. Its original brewery is still there, which means, if Hunter was telling the truth, the safe house is located in the center of Bruges, close to the river Ray?
Yeah, sure. Ray.
Anyways, so we can triangulate where the safe house might be, because the brewery actually is down the street.
Nice. I did want to say, I know we've been hating on Hunter, and I am enjoying that a lot, but he is very entertaining sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. As a person, though, I find him incredibly annoying.
As a person, terrible. As a clown to laugh at, wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the fight ensues. Bobby and Hunter actually help each other, and May is fighting a guy who has a knife on a chain. Why doesn't he have a gun? May wins, obviously. Fucking duh.
In the Marvel Comics, Mark Scarlatti is known as the villain Whiplash. In this episode, he is renamed Marcus Scarlatti and is a Hydra agent who wields a whip-like weapon in battle.
Okay. That's a good callback, I guess. But it was very weird.
Yeah. For you who aren't why can't I talk tonight? It's because I just got off of work.
Heaven.
Like
Sorry.
For you, being a person that is not like familiar with the comics, you wouldn't get that reference. So it just looks like a guy like whipping a knife around.
Yeah. It was very weird.
But also, the first thing that I thought of was I finally watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Me and Erin had a little at-home movie date. We ordered Domino's and we watched it. and it was very good. I'm glad I finally did. I don't know what took me so long. But one of the characters in that uses that same kind of weapon. And so I was like, that's a weird coincidence.
That is weird. Wow. Anyway, moving on. So Coulson is very sad as he gets off the phone with May after Belgium. He closes a classified shield file, and I think that was a picture of Ward in there. Y'all, we've established that I'm blind, and that was not on the screen long enough for my eyes to adjust, so I have no idea.
I didn't really catch what it was either, honestly. I was just like, well,
somebody tell me.
That's a file.
Somebody tweet us or email us and tell me if it was Ward's file.
That was certainly a file.
It was definitely a file.
That much we know.
So Simmons goes to talk to Mac to thank him for helping Fitz while she was gone. But Mac says Fitz didn't need his help. He tells Simmons that she seems to be waiting for Fitz to be the person that she used to know, but who Fitz is now is pretty cool. Simmons is stunned that someone would tell her that she, of all people, doesn't appreciate Fitz for who he is. But Mac points out that Fitz tried to tell her how he felt, and she bailed on him. Technically, twice now, I guess. While it's a little more nuanced than that, regardless, that's how it felt to Fitz. So Mac says that from what he's seen, the only thing that seems to make Fitz worse is Simmons. And Simmons says that's exactly why she left.
Ouch. Mac. It may be true, but that was uncalled for.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like she did kind of need a little bit of a wake-up call because she was trying to, like, reconnect with who he used to be. But they weren't seeming to, like, meet each other where they both are now, you know? So I did feel like she needed the wake-up call a little bit, but it was a little harsh.
Yeah. It is, like, again, with the storyline hitting too close to home, it's kind of like me trying to hang out with old friends that I haven't seen since before I got my diagnosis and started unmasking and unraveling what parts of me are me, what parts of my mask I want to keep, even. Because some of the things that I've learned to do are useful, but regardless, the friends that I haven't spoken to since before then, they know a completely different version of me. And so I definitely see that.
Yeah, for sure. So Bobby catches Hunter packing his things, presumably about to leave without saying goodbye. And can all of his friends stop leaving him without so much as a goodbye, please? And Bobby very casually asks him to stay. Bobby very casually asks him to stay.
Can we wait for a second until this truck stops rumbling?
Yeah. We're good?
Yeah, now we're good. Okay.
Okay. So Coulson leads a team of armed agents down to transfer Ward to other Ward's custody. Senator Ward's speech is going on at the same time, but it's a politician's speech, so he's just kind of saying a lot of words, but not actually really saying anything at all, so I was not paying attention.
A Republican politician's speech, no less.
Right, even worse.
I did find it super on the nose at the beginning where he literally said that Americans want a simple enemy. And,
yeah,
I mean, true. Don't we have audio recordings of Republican lawmakers saying that exact thing? Many times.
Yep. Anyway, but while this is going on, Coulson and the guards lead Ward through the halls of the bunker as the rest of the team watch him go with disdain. He sees Skye and starts to call for her, but Simmons steps in between them and says, "If I ever see you again, I'll kill you." Fuck, I love Protective Simmons. That was amazing.
My note here was, "Ooh, are we about to get the iconic Simmons line?" And then, "Hell yes!"
Incredible.
Oh my god, I just maxed out my thing. It's just like a strip of white on the audio recording. I'm gonna have to find a way to pitch that down, I think.
It's okay. Just, like, turn the volume down on that one section. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So on Simmons' threat to kill Ward the next time she sees him, Brett Dalton said, "I imagine that if something is set up like that, there's always the possibility of that being fulfilled. It is such a badass thing to see one of the less aggressive agents suddenly become a force to be reckoned with in her own right. Ward believes her. She meant what she said."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hope that she follows through on it.
I love the confirmation that, like, Ward believes her and didn't, like, chuckle at her. Like,
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, shit. She really wants to kill me."
Right. Yeah, I like that too.
Fitz tried to kill him already. Yeah. Well, he didn't try to, but he almost killed him.
He could have. Fitz proved that he could have.
I think Simmons would have.
Absolutely. Okay, anyway. So, Talbot and his men take the Hydra agents into custody from the Belgian safe house. He shakes May's hand and offers a very stoic condolences for the soldiers that S.H.I.E.L.D. lost. Senator Ward is still talking. He compares S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra being a divided house to his own family. He assures the press that his brother will be punished for his crimes. As Ward is being loaded into the military truck, he turns back to Coulson and says, "Tell Skye this doesn't change anything. I'll still keep my promise." Bro, can you get over her already? She does not want you.
How many times does she have to prove that she doesn't want him?
Right. Literally. Ugh. So then on the truck, after they get going, Ward yanks his hand out of his cuffs, disgusting, and starts murdering all of the soldiers in the vehicle with him. Because of fucking course.
God damn it, Ward!
Ridiculous. So now it's time for the post-content content. A man walks into a tattoo shop. He has been there recently, possibly even earlier that same day. I'm not sure, but that's what it seemed like. He hands the artist a piece of paper and removes his shirt. He has all of the obelisk symbols all over his torso. The artist starts the needle, and the man guides the artist's hand to start the final piece of the map. And you know what? I don't think that's a very reputable tattoo artist, my guy.
My only note here was literally just, ew.
It was gross.
I love that I could see Juliet's tail, like, in the corner of the screen. Up.
Oh, yeah. She's up there.
Hi, hello. Juliet. You're so pretty. Pretty girl.
Say hi. Nope, she said bye.
She said, "I don't care about you, beach."
Okay, so, overall thoughts.
Sorry, I was meant to ask you that.
It's okay. So I'm fucking tired of Ward, honestly. They should have just killed him when they had the chance. Like, give Fitz and Simmons the gun and just let them have at it. I'm so sick of him.
Honestly, like, it's not even like he was that useful.
Right. He gave them very cryptic messages and didn't actually, like, help them win at anything. And my other thought was that this episode definitely was, like, it was driving the plot forward. Like, I could definitely feel that, but it wasn't my favorite so far.
I feel like I think the only reason I was so, like, excited about it was because I knew that it was in this episode we get that iconic Simmons line.
Yeah, definitely. And there were definitely some very good lines, but
I've been waiting for that scene, like, since season 1. And I have been, like, trying not to. I finally have a TikTok idea that I can do since we covered this episode.
Yay!
You know the audio that's like, "What's up, ladies? How you doing?" And then a voice from far away shouts, "I want to kill you!"
Yeah, that's totally Simmons.
So, my last little batch of fun facts. The first trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron was scheduled to premiere during the airing of this episode on ABC. However, of course, the trailer leaked online, and within a few hours, Marvel officially released it on YouTube. And in response, because ABC didn't get to have their big moment with all the viewership, Marvel agreed to air previously unreleased footage from Age of Ultron during the episode instead.
Oh.
And I remember that.
Cool.
And this episode received a positive critical response, with the performance of guest star Adrianne Palicki praised, and her character's interactions with Lance Hunter and the moral ambiguity established between the characters of Grant and Christian Ward were also highlighted.
I can see that. Yeah, she did awesome.
Yeah. Nice. I do think it tells you a lot about their relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Bobby and Hunter's.
Yeah.
And well, it doesn't really tell you a lot about Ward and Christians.
Yeah, right. It gives a lot more questions about their relationship than answers.
Yeah, it's like, who's telling the truth?
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Nice.
Nice. So that concludes our episode on Season 2, Episode 6, A Fractured House. Next week, we'll be covering Season 2, Episode 7, The Writing on the Wall. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Love you. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on TikTok at Agents of Nothing Podcast, on Twitter at Agent Nothing Pod, and on Instagram at Agents of Nothing Podcast. You can go to anchor.fm/Agents of Nothing and subscribe to us for $2.99 a month for special bonus content. And you can email us at agentsofnothingpodcast@gmail.com, and we may just read it on the show. If you want to find me, Mariah, I'm on Twitter at FullSwampWitch_, on TikTok at Submarine Warfare, and on Instagram at Submarine Warfare.
And you can follow me, Caroline, on Twitter at RustyPage95, on Instagram at _RustyPage, or on TikTok at CrazyGinger995.